We have the side that is especially prevalent in the new year, that says, "Oh, we'll wake up a new person. It's a new year, a new start. Everything's going to be different and amazing and wonderful now." And so we bite off more than we can chew. We imagine that everything's going to go our way. We think that we'll wake up tomorrow able to do what we have not yet been able to do before, and get these grand visions and great plans that look great on paper. I was like, why can't I make it work? Is it because it was too big of a leap from where we are to where we want to be? And so we think if we just make that plan for who we want to be or where we want to be, then we know where we're going. We could just go from here to there, like tomorrow, right? So we have these kind of over-ambitious, over-optimistic goals and hopes and plans, and that's what leads us to the boom and bust cycles. So we think that we will be able to make this change stick, and maybe Monday morning goes great, but then what about Tuesday? Wednesday is usually my day where everything kind of falls off. So maybe you can make it for a day or two, but then you had the boom, but then comes the bust. And super often, at least I hope, I don't think this is just me, but it's definitely me. If I get the boom and then the bust side of the boom cycle, I end up busting, falling off lower than I was, farther back than I was when I started just before the boom, right? When I was planning out, like, okay, I'm not happy with where I am here. We're going to try to go here. And then end up, way back instead of even, just a little bit ahead. Still, then I could maybe think, oh, it's still good. But no, because I exhausted myself or was too ambitious, or the plan actually did not fit my actual life, I end up farther back than I was before. So we want to stop those boom and bust cycles. And the way we do that is by making tiny changes, the kind of changes that we're going to be tempted to not even respect. So the BJ Fogg example is he wanted to get in shape. And so his tiny habit, he tried going whole hog on exercise programs or goals or whatever. But when he went with the tiny habits model, he chose to do one push-up after he used the bathroom. And that's the kind of thing you're like, well, that's not going to make a difference, so I'm not going to bother, right? That's our temptation. We have the one side that says, we could wake up tomorrow another person. And it's really that same part of us that on the flip side says, why would I even bother with one push-up? But the truth is, he was doing then 3 or 4 or 5 push-ups, depending on how many times you use the bathroom. But that's more than before. And it's not so much about the single push-up. It's actually about breaking the cycle of not doing what we set out to do, which is way bigger than a workout habit or a reading habit or those sorts of things. Is throughout Humble Habits, this program that we're going to be doing, the habits that you're going to set must take the shortest amount of time possible. Like 30 seconds. When we get to reading, really like 1 or 2 minutes. When we get to exercise, you could do the 1 push-up. You can do 5 jumping jacks. something that's so small and insignificant that part of you is going to be tempted to skip it because it seems meaningless. But um, it might, that day's, workout or reading session might not accomplish anything in and of itself. But what it is accomplishing is establishing a pattern and establishing the habit of follow through. And I don't know about you, but it's like, I always say consistency. Like I'm trying to be more consistent, which is really the habit of follow through. Like I say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But we have this habit of setting overly ambitious goals that we really can't follow through with. And so we get into this rut, this pattern of then not following through. So the way that we build follow through and consistency into our lives is by starting super small. So small that it's super easy. It doesn't take that much effort. It doesn't take that much time. So our usual excuses just aren't there. Pretty much the primary mental resistance that you're going to have is that it's meaningless, but it's not. So don't